All right, welcome to Shakopee Hockey Streaming. We're filming MPH 2011 team here in the Snipers RiverTown Showdown tournament, broadcasting live from Lily Lake Ice Arena here in the heart of Stillwater. Looks like Minnesota's first ever hockey rink, the way this building looks. Your MPH team is 2-1 on pool play so far, going into their fourth pool play game, taking on the EuroAmerican Red team, who are currently 0-3. Looks like MPH has snuck through with a couple overtime victories. Pretty much an equal goals forced, goals allowed. The EuroAmerican team is struggling, only putting 7 in the net with 19 allowed. So MPH can secure their victory. If they can secure a victory, they move on to tomorrow, and we'll be taking on that FCA team that we played last night, who we fell flat-footed and lost to. All right, they're taking the ice now. We're going to get 4 minutes on the clock, it looks like, for a warm-up period. Game will get underway for pool play game number 4 here from Lily Lake Ice Arena in the heart of Stillwater. Ups. This is MPH 2011 taking on Eurostars 11 Red. MPH is 2-1 on the pool play. Eurostars are 0-3, and a decisive game 4 for MPH. A win moves them on to tomorrow. A loss probably sends them packing for the rest of the tournament, as only the top 2 in the pool move on to Sunday play. Team building, trying to get something going and a little bit of action and fun happening here on the ice. If the streaming service is bad, it's because we're going to get underway pretty soon. 15 minutes on the clock. Looks like Eurostar. Looks like we have William and Nico with Gilbertson, and tries to get through a 6-foot-tall Euro-American player held up on the near boards. Westrom bats it ahead and now picked up by Williamson along the player benches. Williamson skates in, kind of loses it in the far corner, and EuroAmerican falls down and still retains possession. MPH going to change. Goalie made a save, kind of dangled out right there in front of the paint. No white sweaters to be found to put that home. Press change. We have Hilden out on the ice along with Item. Williamson still centering. And behind the goal line and down on the puck, that's Harlan back for this afternoon's game after missing this morning. Great fill-in by to his left. Looks like pass over to Flom was intercepted and deflected, and MPH brings it in offsides. McGuire centering this line, sends it over to the the far boards, and EuroAmerican dumps it all the way down. Item first to the puck, puts the brakes on, reverses the other way, looks for an open lane. EuroAmerican falling all over themselves. Item still with the puck, just backhand pass. All right, into the near corner. We have a whistle. Didn't see what that was. Someone's getting called for a trip. At 12:33 of the first period. Wagner battling two Euro-American players in the corner, and looks like kind of taking them on and winning. Euro-American forward drops to his D and quickly gathered up by Hagen and sent the length of the ice. Hagen once again attacks the puck and takes possession of it. Williamson with some speed spins around, throws one in on net, saved by the Euro-American goaltender. That's a shorthanded shot on goal. Euro-American forced to keep it on the outside. Gilbertson, good physical play, takes the puck away. And Wagner reverses course, gets pushed off the puck, but strength wins that battle. Now wraps it around to some open ice. Hagen tries to advance it out to Westrom at the dot, sends it back to Hilden. Hilden along the far boards, holds on to the puck as the penalty has expired, and MPH now at full strength with McGuire back on the ice. Centering pass goes right between EuroAmerican. Save and slow down by Harlan with his defense quickly swapping it out as it almost went past the goal line. Good quick whistle, but the defense was there to help Harlan out. Westrom flips it up and down the length of the ice. Item felt pressure immediately. And EuroAmerican tries to gather it up, still getting pushed around along the near boards. Item to Hilden. Hilden pushed up by Nico. And now McGuire goes to the work and pushed into the boards hard. Loses the puck, but kept in the zone by Wagner. Wagner shot that. Gilbertson now flips it up to Nico. Nico misses that, but it looks like it might be going right on net. So the goaltender forced to save that and negates that icing. Gilbertson gets it up to Magnuson. Magnuson sends it over to Williamson. Williamson now behind the net. Sends it over to Flom. Flom looked to quickly get to Magnuson, but quickly turned over by EuroAmerican. Magnuson flipped up to Williamson. Williamson has some speed. He's got Flom coming up the left-hand side. Williamson shot on behind the net. Uses the boards, bad angle or bounce off the boards, and so comes out of the zone. And we have Hilden to Item. Item backhands it up forward, and it can't be gathered up by EuroAmerican, and goes far to near. Held into the zone by MPH. And now sent the length of the ice. And no ice. Flom zigged when he should have zagged at the blue line, and MPH came in offsides. That's Gilbertson outwitting the EuroAmerican forwards to deeper, and now McGuire's McGuire, C, and Hagen, the front three there with Gilbertson and Wagner back at D. Held out. Oh, McGuire wins the faceoff, takes it, centers over to, I think, Hagen, and that's a first goal for MPH. Was to Dylan. So McGuire wins the faceoff over to C. C bats it in, and MPH 1-0 over EuroAmerican. EuroAmerican. Still deep in the zone. Williamson behind the goal. Sends it over to the far corner. Sends it out to Item. Item has some room. Sends it in on net. Blocker save by the goaltender. Item still with the puck. Tries to pull it to his forehand, but EuroAmerican take away possession. And he's got Westrom with him. And Nico. So Williamson now back to the defense, and it goes Wagner over to Gilbertson, and now down deep into the offensive zone for MPH. Flom spins and shoots one right through the paint of the EuroAmerican crease. And Wagner's back. EuroAmerican comes in. He uses his body by EuroAmerican's goaltender. And we have a whistle, and MPH is going a man down again, it looks like. Call on the ice is McGuire. There's no hand signal. I don't know what he did. I don't think he knows what he did. No hand signal, minor penalty on McGuire. Valuable PK time. A what?
A leverage call.
A leverage call? See, smartly just throws it into the far corner. Flom gets a stick on it and interrupts the entry again. EuroAmerican forced to dump. Spin and not quite cleared by Williamson. And now a block out front. Williamson uses the big body, gets in the way, dumps it down the length of the ice. 30 seconds remain on the minor penalty for MPH. Westrom, good back checking, just steals it away from behind, sends it back down the length of the ice, and that will expire the penalty kill for MPH. So MPH back at full strength. Bad pass by EuroAmerican, tried to a drop pass. Nico picked that up, and Magnuson in. Magnuson, was tied up, and so couldn't get a shot off. Center, I think he was trying to connect with Westrom, just out of his reach, and so Wagner has to slow it down. He tried to leave it to Gilbertson. Harlan down on kind of a quick little breakaway. No danger as Harlan was covering all of the net. Flom now picks the puck up at the blue line. William McGuire, it looks like winning the faceoff. It quickly poked, though, down by EuroAmerican down. That's Iden picking it up behind the goal line, and he's going to look to go 200 feet. Flom tips it up and over to McGuire. McGuire with a long reach pokes that out. All right, time is expiring in this first intermission. There's the buzzer. Quick coaching minute for each team, and we're going to get to second period action. You're hungry for pizza, aren't you? Little Caesars delivers to all of Chaska, parts of Carver, Victoria, Chanhassen, and Shakopee. So go to littlecaesars.com, order some pizza. As far away, they're in the defensive zone. Flipped up, bouncer out into neutral zone. Thrown back in quickly by EuroAmerican. And sent in on net, Harlan forced to cover. 14.32 seconds remain in the second period. And a nice play, out of camera by McGuire as he poked that loose puck up ahead and out of the danger zone. Poked up and into the corner here. Held into the zone by Wagner. Wagner sends it deep. McGuire behind the goal line. McGuire centers out to the wrong. Cheap shot after by EuroAmerican. They're already feeling frustration. Whistle blows and they do a cross check. No call by the ref. He's getting a talking to. He said, don't do that. That's not how you win games. All right, face-off won by Williamson, sent over to C. C back to Wagner. Wagner sends it over to Gilbertson, and MPH looks to control. Hagen had it for a second. Now Williamson looking for some open ice. Drop pass to Gilbertson. Gilbertson sends it in, deflected by C. Comes right here in front of the camera, and now looks like EuroAmerican's able to clear it momentarily. Williamson with the puck, skating around looking for an outlet pass. He gets the tag up. Crossbar by EuroAmerican on that shot. Harlan giving a little stick check to his partner there, the crossbar. And now sets up. Hagen deflects it into the zone on the wrong side of the red line. So we have icing at 12:43 and a face-off deep into the zone of MPH. EuroAmerican on a goal by C from McGuire midway through the first period. No scoring action since until coming up here. MPH is looking strong so far in the second period. Sent out. Nico was first to the puck, but EuroAmerican able to just slash that out into neutral territory. And now offsides, as that was Item carrying it in before the sevens could tag up. McGuire wins back to, can't see who that is. Direction, McGuire picks that up, sends it out. Sent in on net, loose out front. McGuire gets a second poke, and goaltender holds firm. Good opportunity and a good second chance by MPH on that shot from the point. 11:21 in the second period. All right, looks like we got Williamson flanked by Flom and Magnuson out there for the front three. And Wagner and reverse course by EuroAmerican, and now chipped up and out of the zone. Williamson there offering some support. EuroAmerican playing it from his butt. We got a penalty upcoming and played with a high stick. So MPH once again going to the box. This time Williamson for high sticking. 10:52 minor penalty. Length of the ice, hard. EuroAmerican looking to set something up. Outlet pass over to the near boards. Missed pass across the ice. And now sent back about 150 feet directly on net. Shot on goal by MPH. Just killing off this penalty. Flom pressuring hard deep in the zone. Turned over by Magnuson. Magnuson flips it up. McGuire, hard shot in. Leg pad got down very quickly by EuroAmerican's goaltender. McGuire picks it up, reverses it back the other way into the far corner. And EuroAmerican finally gets it out of the zone, but not quite into the offensive zone yet. Short-handed. Good effort by C. Centering by McGuire, almost put it right on the stick of C for a point-blank goal. Harlan with a big save coming out of the net. And we get a whistle. 16 seconds left on the minor penalty. And MPH will be back at full strength. That's McGuire taking the face off, wins it cleanly, back to his D. Item picks it up behind the goal line. Full for MPH, 8:50 remains second period, 1-0 MPH over EuroAmerican Red. Item reverses it over and sent up. Flipped ahead by Williamson. Williamson sends it over to Westrom. Picked up by Nico. Nico behind the goal line. Looks to get a centering pass. Sends it out to the D. Westrom, or excuse me, Williamson. Williamson sends it out to the D. Sent in on net. Deflected up almost to the ceiling. And now Westrom tries to gather it up. Sent in on net. That's Williamson. Williamson again. Point blank shot. Not covered. Quick whistle. EuroAmerican lives to see another day. 7:58 after that flurry remain in the second period. Advancing back into the offensive zone, but reverse course. And that's Item trying to skate with it. Now picked up by a second chance by McGuire. McGuire sends it rink wide to Flom. Flom just misses the net wide. McGuire quickly into the zone. Has help by Magnuson on the far boards. Misses the net. And flipped up and into the EuroAmerican bench for a whistle and stoppage of play. 6:52 remains second period. C picks it up, hits the near boards, gets it out to neutral ice. EuroAmerican goes D to D and quickly tries to re-enter the zone. Shot in on goal, held on by Harlan. And we'll have a face-off in the defensive zone once again. Hagen flips it up to goal. Big save by Harlan. Harlan now drops to his glove and covers up. McGuire at the dot. Looks like it was won by him, but controlled then by EuroAmerican. Held into the zone, now tapped out by MPH. Gilbertson behind the net, looks to go 200 feet with the puck. Sent up over to Nico. Nico right in front of us. Skates around, looks to center, gets his own centering pass back as that got slowed up. Westrom drops to Wagner. Wagner over to Gilbertson. Gilbertson, good shot. Oh, just deflected wide. Nico in the near corner. Flips it up. Wagner able to hold it. Deflected right out front by McGuire. Just hopped over the net and onto the stick of a EuroAmerican player. And now Wagner dumps it in. MPH tags up, and they go for a change as EuroAmerican gathers the puck. Stolen away by Nico. Nico comes in. Oh, point blank as Williamson, fresh on the ice, came in, got a good shot. Big save by the EuroAmerican goaltender. Big bounce right off the back glass. Held in by Wagner once again. Exceptional D by Blake Wagner today. Ran Nico into the boards, taking away his possession for a moment. But now Magnuson picks up the puck. Now reverse the other way. Wagner still on the ice. Icing upcoming. And finally whistled as it was a race to the puck before it got to the goal line. 3:44 remains in this second period. Goal on the scoreboard. Face off back to D, flipped up ahead, and now Flom deep into the zone. Took the long route, can't quite get there before EuroAmerican starts to clean it out of the zone. Length of the ice. Harlan makes that save, still loose out front. Finally gets down and covers, and EuroAmerican just dumps it once again and tries to go to work. Looks like Hilden first to get to the puck, reverses it back around the net. Over to Item. Shot on goal behind the goal line. Harlan just quickly pulls that into him, gathers up, and covers up. Puck comes around. Westrom tries to bat it up and out of the zone. From his knees, can't quite. And EuroAmerican's the first lead of the game and possibly the tournament for them. Williamson at the dot, wins it ahead, controls it, flips it ahead, and goes to work. Nico behind the goal line. Looks to turn it over. Wagner, once again, everywhere, sends it in, bouncer puck on net. And EuroAmerican able to get it out of the zone. Gilbertson pressuring, forcing them to dump it into the near corner. And here we have Wagner once again carrying the puck in. Wagner gets tied up a little bit. He skates around. He's looking for an open pass. Sends it out to Gilbertson. Wagner now on the far board sends it to Westrom. Westrom, backhand pass into the corner. McGuire sends it back towards Hilden. Hilden unable to settle the puck down before it squeezes out. So Item gathers that up down the length of the ice. Item puts the brakes on, tries to go the other direction. He picks up Flom. Flom bounces that to McGuire. McGuire up the center. Skates around one. On his backhand, pulls it, sends it. Oh, just a little bit wide. Good play. Oh, and just gets crossed. McGuire's down. He's up on his knees, which is actually the delicate part of him right now. Just needs some time to gather his thoughts. He's up on one knee, and now he's back up. Missed call. Coaches look like discussing with the refs, how could you miss that? Were your eyes completely in the back of your head? Why is it coming out of the zone, though? It was in the zone when they whistled it dead. So you get penalized for a missed call that they forgot to call? That sucks. Harlan with a big save. And EuroAmerican's in pushing on top of our goaltender after the play. That's not very classy. Oh, now he's pushing more. Throw him out! All right, face off in the defensive zone. 8 seconds remain. Harlan forced with another save. Do it for the second period. After 2 periods of play, MPH 1, EuroAmerican 2. We'll be back for the third period after this. All right, just a few seconds left in the intermission. We'll be back to third period. Ice from uncalled penalties. The only one who's been in the penalty box so far has been MPH players. Yeah, only 2 teams advance of the 5. Yep. All right, Williamson at the faceoff dot. Gilbertson got his stick on there, but EuroAmerican turns it back down into the defensive zone. Gilbert. Then EuroAmerican looks to come in. D-to-D pass from Gilbertson to Wagner. Wagner finds C. EuroAmerican turns it over in the neutral zone again. They found some new life after going up by a goal on this MPH team. Gilbertson using his body to take the puck away. Bounces it over to the far side. Wagner, once again there. Just misses going to the back of the net. Now over to Gilbertson, sends it wide into the far corner. Puck comes up and centered, and that's C. Offering enough pressure. Hagen sends one and scores for MPH. That was C offering a lot of pressure. Hagen picked the puck up. McGuire back out on the ice after that hit. It's good to see. Flanked by Westrom and Nico up front. We got Item and Hilden back at the blue line. McGuire into the corner, comes out from the corner, walking with the puck, sends one in on net. Loose out front, can't be corralled, and now a bouncer behind the net, out right to a almost point blank chip in by Westrom, cleared by EuroAmerican down the length of the ice. We have icing at 13:01 in the third period. Has got 2 EuroAmerican players on it. McGuire sends it right towards the net. Westrom can't get a stick on it, and now it's sent down the length of the ice for icing. 12:46 remain. I thought it was a pass too. Maybe that's our makeup call for the missed penalty. 1 free icing. Something Dairy Queen would give away. Westrom gets it back to Hilden. Hilden to Nico. Nico battling with a player, and here's McGuire coming up trying to gather it, but EuroAmerican is able to just poke it out. Item sends it back down deep. Westrom tried to feed McGuire, came off his skate instead of his stick. And now changing on the fly behind the scenes is MPH, so we got some fresh D out there. Sends it right through the paint as a wraparound. Out to Wagner. Wagner sends a shot in on goal. Leg pad save by the goaltender. And now into the far corner. We have a couple of wingers that have been out for an extended shift. Shot in on goal by Gilbertson. And now out of the zone. Wagner tried to catch up to it. We have Gilbertson and Wagner back. Wagner gets his stick on there to deflect that puck. Just can't quite connect. And now Nico loses the puck on the wrong side of the blue line, so MPH has to regroup. Williamson dumps it down deep, and we're getting a few more fresh skaters. So now we have a full line change, it looks like. Flom picks up the puck deep into the zone. He tried to get over to Magnuson, but EuroAmerican takes that away. Item being pressured, loses the puck to EuroAmerican. Big save by Hilden. Wins that, but the puck stops on this dirty ice. He gathers it back up himself with the help of Magnuson. EuroAmerican just deflects it back the other way. Hilden picks it up behind the goal line. He's got Item with him. Item has 3 forwards in front of him. Feeds it up to McGuire. McGuire's got left and right wingers flanking. He sends one in on net. Big leg pad save by the goaltender. EuroAmerican comes away with it behind. All right, Williamson back out on the ice after a short break. Feeds it up to C. C, oh, was hoping that came off the boards a little differently, and he would have had a short. Misses the net, goes into the near corner. That's Hilden flipping it up and towards the offensive zone. Now it gets deeper by MPH. EuroAmerican tries to control. They do get that outlet pass. And Williamson quickly with the back checking, steals that away, goes around the back of the net, and he's looking to pick up some. Wagner are back to cover at D. Wagner, again, every place, clears it out at the front of the net and is stealing the puck away from EuroAmerican on that far boards. Wagner picks it up again, everywhere. Is there more than 121 out there? Shot flipped up from Hagen. Couldn't connect with anyone for a second chance opportunity. Now flip shot, I think that was Wagner yet again with another shot towards the net. Out of the reach, and now the defense has to get back. Slowed up. Good play by Gilbertson to steal that away. Wagner with the puck line, and now Nico sends it over to Gilbertson. Gilbertson settles it down off his skates, flips it right up to Westrom on the near side. Westrom tips it in, and not before hitting the red line, so we have an icing. 7:30 remain third period. We got that sevens line with McGuire and Westrom out there. Tried to do a little drag around the defense. Didn't work for EuroAmerican. Hilden stands up. That winger flipped up to Westrom. Westrom now at center ice. Gets it over to McGuire. Hard pass. Bounces off the stick. McGuire gathers that up and gets pride. And there's a cover. Goaltender had to drop his stick to try to get something down to cover that up. 6:31 remain. Looks like both benches are going to get a full change there. Tie game 2-2 here at Lily Lake Arena. Williamson with Magnuson and Flom. Williamson wins that to Magnuson. Magnuson it up past the red line and picked up by Williamson. Williamson enters in, steps around. Williamson shot just goes wide. And Flom is battling along the far boards. He's got support now of Williamson. Puck does trickle out, and Williamson gathers that up at the red line. Goes over to Gilbertson and back to Williamson. And MPH looks to set something up. Hilden sends it over to the near board, something in. Offsides by EuroAmerican, and that stops play at 5:21 remaining. Has a couple of Euro players by him, so he flips it to Item. Item starts marching up the other direction, gets slowed up a little bit on his process, but the puck does get down into the offensive zone, at least momentarily. C stands up, the Euro player carrying the puck in, and Item tries to get it up and out. He does, gets it on the stick of McGuire. McGuire gets it over to C, who's got some room, and C over to McGuire. Puck is loose. McGuire throws one in. Goaltender had no clue where it was. Somehow made a back. American takes the lead again at 4:15 left in the third period. Gross. Harlan made the save. Kind of lost track of the puck, and it bounced in off his back. Wagner holds the zone. Let's see if MPH can answer quick. William. Williamson down after the face-off. I don't know if he was using leverage or if he got shoved down. No call. So far, still no one in the box for EuroAmerican on this game. Shot deflects off Gilbertson. Wagner picks that up. Gilbertson sends it back to Wagner, who's got a little bit more room to maneuver. Nico, who's got some speed, turn in the corner. He tries to race up on the near boards, but loses the puck. Wagner, back in front of the goaltender, takes away any opportunity. Wagner sends it over to Gilbertson. Gilbertson centers to Williamson, has to settle the puck down and gather up momentum. Williamson forced to go wide. Still has the puck. Leaves it out for Hilden. Hilden just dumps it back down deep. Time is clicking away. 2:22 remains in this third period. MPH now down by 1 after that lucky bouncing by EuroAmerican. Harlan tries to make the save, reaches for it, dives, leaves open. Dominated most of this game. Cleared away now and carried up by McGuire. Loses his edge and is down. Well, we have a whistle. Looks like we're getting a tripping call. Finally, on, I believe, you're empty net for MPH. 6-on-4 hockey. We have Williamson, McGuire, Magnuson, and Flom, the front four, with Gilbertson and Wagner back at D. Flipped in. Williamson just sends it just wide of the net. Kept and held into the zone by MPH. Sent over Wagner, able to hold the zone. Woo! And now to Flom. Flom backhanded to the center. There's nobody there. Flipped up ahead out of the zone. 121 left in the game. And MPH has to regroup. So we got to get 2 quick goals to tie this game to force overtime. Oh, the puck up on its edge trickles out of the zone. MPH forced to tag up, which they do. 50 seconds remain on the 6-on-4. Wagner tried to walk in, still has the puck, sends one through the paint over to the far side. Nico smashes one over towards the net, just goes wide. Wagner once again looks to send one out to Gilbertson. Gilbertson, point-blank shot, deflects out. To get 2 goals, somewhat interesting. Empty net still. 6-on-3 with 2 men in the box for EuroAmerican after some very sloppy play. Out to Wagner. Wagner just loses it. Gilbertson back, ties up the puck carrier, and now picked up by Williamson. 6 seconds left. Williamson carries in. Shot. And goal. We should get like 2 seconds back. All right, so it's still a power play. Still an, oh, dang. 1.2 seconds left. We like the 10 seconds. 1.2 on the clock, and now they're calling it. I guess they don't think we can win the faceoff and score in 1.2 seconds. So at the end of the game, MPH falls to EuroAmerican Red 3-4 in a game that was kind of one-sided. Hockey players, thanks.